back to my channel. I have a faves and fails for you. Right? Like, when was the last time I filmed one of these? Forever ago. That's when. So I have some stuff that I've really been loving. I don't want to just do these just to have them. Like, I don't want to go through my collection and just pick stuff and be like, oh, this was a fave, this was a fave. These are really things that I have been using for the past few months that I absolutely love. And then I have two items that just really didn't cut it for me. And I really gave them a shot, kept trying and trying them, but they just didn't work. So I'm gonna move along on these because if it's not working for you, there's no point. I think it's Kristen Game who sends it, who she's like, life's too short to wear like bad mascara or something like that. So, you know, don't try to force products that aren't working for you to work. If they're not working, then move on, try something else. Okay. After that whole big spiel, I'm gonna do my two fails just to get them out of the way so that we can end on a good note. Now, the first fail, this is the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Transforming Foundation. It looks like this, and I got this in the shade 10 Porcelain. Okay, so this came to me in an influencer box, and anyone can sign up for influencer. It's like a social media type thing where you link like your social media accounts to it and they'll send you a product to kind of try and review. So I got sent this through that, but I'm not sponsored or anything. They just ask us to review it. So I'm reviewing it and I did not like this at all. First off, I actually got this in the beginning to mid-summer where my skin was a little bit more tan. I mean, I don't get tan. I'm pale, so I don't really get tan, but I did have a bit more color, and this was so incredibly light on me that I just could not work with it through the summer. It was just too light. I tried bronzing and everything, but it just did not match my skin, so that was troublesome for me to begin with. And I think if they do things like this where it's a foundation, that they should give you some kind of coupon where you can go get a better color for you, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. However, I did try to wear this. I really did try. You can even see like I did use quite a bit of it to try to use it. And the problem with this is I actually liked when I first put it on, like that it was great. It looked great on my skin and everything. However, what started to happen was it broke down, and it broke down ugly. Like, you know when foundation breaks down on you and it just does not look cute? That's what happened with this. So it became a foundation that I could not rely on. And I don't want that in a foundation. I want something that's gonna be on my skin and I can trust it, and I could not trust this. The problem I had is like really around my nose, it broke down really bad where it got like almost like pilly, like you know when a sweater gets pilly, like that's what was happening. It got really gross in there. It just started to wear off of my face, and it wasn't even that, it was after a long period of time. Like, I mean, it was within 2 hours. So I just couldn't feel that I trusted this. I did try it as I started to lighten up in the fall time, and it still wasn't a good color match for me. I mean, you can see this is really pale. So color match was off for me, and I just did not like this formula. So this was kind of a lose for me. I do like other Maybelline foundations, like the Fit Me. I like that one. It's just this one just didn't work for me. So, and the whole thing of it was it's supposed to transform your skin, but I couldn't wear it enough to see if it actually did that. So that was definitely a fail for me. Okay. The next fail for me is actually a higher end or high-end type product. It is the Lorac Pro +Fiber Mascara. Now I got a mini like sample version of this, and Lorac Pro, they had the original Pro, or Lorac had the Pro Mascara, which it was pretty much the same tube, and now they've added fibers to the formula to try to lengthen your lashes. So what, like I said, is I have a sample size of this, and the wand is a traditional cone-shaped wand, and it looks like it's natural bristles. So let me get you in close there. I don't know how close I can get you to. I don't know if you can even see, because like even looking at the wand, like can you see some of the fibers like actually on there? My problem with this is because I think of the bristles and how they're spaced out. I mean, you can see they're definitely spaced out. This gave me 4 lashes. So what would happen is it would just pinch my lashes between the spirals, and it would clump them together, and I would have like 4 lashes on my lash line. I would have 4 lashes. So it just did not look very nice on me, and I would try to comb it out and I couldn't, and no matter how many times I tried it or tried to get in there and separate them, it just really clumped them together. And so I don't like that kind of look on my lashes. It did lengthen them, but I don't know if it's a product with the brush. Like maybe if I had a different brush, I should try like using a mascara wand, you know, like a disposable one. I have those lying around. Maybe I'll try that and see if it works. But for me, that's not worth it for a high-end mascara. I mean, I want to say this is around 20 bucks or something. So to have to use disposable wands doesn't really work. So I was just not super happy with that, the way that it works. Okay. Moving on to my faves, and I do have quite a few things that I want to mention, and I hope not to make this super long, but you never know. Alright, first fave, this is actually kind of a really random product, but you guys know, I've talked about it before, is I struggle with my eyebrows, and it's because of the color of them. They're really, really dark, and it's hard to go to a brown that isn't red. Even though I have red in my hair, is I don't want red in my brows. They end up being too warm, and then to go black ends up looking too drawn on. So it's kind of a hard battle for me. However, I found this product, I came across this, and this is, they sell this at Kohl's. It's made by Divaderm, and this is the Brow Extender 2, and I have this, I want to say, in cappuccino brown. So it looks like this. Now what's really neat about this, and that's different than any other brow product that I've seen on the line, these are like little fibers, and I want you to kind of see, can you see it? Like they're like little fiber hairs. So I'm kind of like brushing it on and see, so it gives a little bit of color, but it also gives a little bit of like a hair-like texture to it, which is really a cool concept that that's what you're brushing on. So I use this mostly like in the inner part, kind of in my arch a little bit. I don't really put it into my tail. I use something else out there. But this color goes with the color of my brows, and I just use this very lightly. And now you can, you know, press a little bit heavier to get a little bit more pigmentation, or lighter to just do a light application. But I've definitely been enjoying this, and I've really liked the way that it has looked in my brows and worked with my brows in particular. So really a cool item to have. Okay, next is, this is an eyeshadow, and I kind of singled it out in here. This is one of the new Makeup Geek duochrome eyeshadows, and I picked up a bunch of them, but this one really has stood out to me. This is in the shade Ritzy. So that's what it looks like, and I'm gonna swatch it for you. So there you have it there. It's kind of this beautiful like gold and maroon. So can you see, like there, it's got like a burgundy tone, but then you go into this like gold, almost like an, I don't want to say an olive green, but it has some kind of green in it. It's so beautiful. And this one, above the other ones that I have stood out, this one and Blacklight I really like, but this one more so. I absolutely love it. I just love the way that this looks on my, I'm like looking at it in another mirror. I just love the way that it looks on my eyelids all over. I just put that all over, blend some other colors into the crease, and it just looks so stunning. Like you can wear it by itself. I mean, do you see it? You can wear it by itself, you can, you know, pair other colors with it, but it's just a really, really stunning color. And I really like that the duochromes, unlike the foiled shadows, are the same price as the normal pan. So I want to say they're $6, which is really cool. So definitely been loving Ritzy from Makeup Geek. Okay. I want to mention, I actually put it away, but I have 2 foundations that I want to mention. Now the first one is an oldie. This is the Revlon Color Stay Whipped Foundation. And what I have been liking about this is I somewhat use this as a concealer. This is a thick foundation, and I know I can rely on it when I'm like going to a wedding or something like that. This is what I use for things like that. A lot of times too, if I do a bride, and they want to buy their own foundation, this is what I'll recommend to them, you know, especially when we're on a budget and things like that, because you can get this at the drugstore. There's no SPF in it, which makes it really good for flash photography, and it's got a thicker, here, let me show you. It's got a thicker, like whipped type, I mean, that's why it's a whipped foundation, a thicker texture to it. And I have this in 200 Sand Beige. Now, this is actually the second one of these that I've gone through. I had another one, went through the whole thing, waited a while, and this is a repurchase on it. But what I've been doing is some of my other foundations that don't have heavier coverage, but I'm trying to work through when, you know, they're not quite working for me, is I'll add a little bit of this to it. So lately what I've been having is some redness around my nose, and I'm having a little bit of breakouts over here. And other foundations are fine for the rest of my face. But what I'll do is take a little bit of this and I'll kind of use it like a concealer and just tap it in these areas and set it with a powder. And it's been covering those areas, so it's allowing me to use foundations that aren't giving me the coverage I need in the areas I need it, but I'm not putting this all over my face where, I don't want to say this feels heavy because it doesn't, but it is a thicker texture, so I'm not putting this all over my face where I don't need it. Does that make sense? Definitely been loving it, definitely a favorite. My only non-favorite, and this happened on the last one that I bought, is I break the cap every time. Do you see this? Like, oops, wrong side. I break the cap and then it doesn't like twist on right anymore. So it like doesn't seal. So that's also why I'm actually trying to use this up, because the seal is kind of broken on it. I've been loving this for months, like, oh my goodness, so many months. This is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and I have this in the shade Vanilla. Now, I got this as a sweet deal through Ipsy, is that they were having this with your points that you could get a full size, and I scooped it up, and I am so glad that I did. This has been a go-to foundation for me. It's medium coverage. It works really nicely on my skin. I know some people don't like it, but I've definitely been loving that. I'm kind of normal skin. I don't have super oily or super dry, and it just really works with my skin. It gives me a great finish to it. I think it's very natural. It's not super mattifying. It's not a dewy finish. It's just right there. Born This Way, it's supposed to be like, this is your natural skin, and I really feel that's what it looks like on my skin. Definitely been loving this for a high-end type of foundation. Another favorite of mine, and this has been over the past, what's happening with my hair? Past few months, has been the Bliss Triple Oxygen Instant Energizing Mask, and it looks like this. I'm gonna have a demo here. Let's put it over here. I'm gonna have a demo here showing how this works, but this isn't like the clay masks or you know, the charcoal mask or anything where it's like pulling impurities out of your skin. But what it does is it helps to like rejuvenate your skin, and I think like what it is, it's an energizing mask. After I put this on, my skin just feels like it's alive again. It feels healthy, it feels glowy, not glowy shiny, but just like glowing from within, like it feels good. And what I love about it is it's super quick. Like you put it on, I actually use it in the shower. So I put it all over my face, and you'll see that it comes out like a gel consistency and then turns into a foam on your face. So I let it foam, and while it's foaming, you leave it for like, I think it says 5 minutes. So I leave it on in the shower. Don't let the water touch my face, and I'll do something like shave my legs or wash the rest of my body, something like that, and then I'll wash it off. And my skin just feels so good afterwards. It just feels like brightened and healthy and energized and everything. So definitely been loving this. And Bliss, they carry that at Kohl's. So if you notice, I tend to get a lot of my products at Kohl's. Use your Kohl's cash there. It's really great. So the last product that I want to talk about is the Becca Afterglow palette. Now this is an exclusive to Ulta, and I want to say it's about $39 to get it. It comes in this beautiful rose gold packaging. Now don't mind all the fingerprints on it, because that's what happens with this kind of packaging. But what this is, okay, so here's the mirror down here, and let's hope not to blind you. You get one of their shimmering, actually you get technically 3 of their shimmering skin perfectors, I'm just reading the back, and then 2 of their mineral blushes. Now, that's not totally how I use this, but what you get here is you have Moonstone, you get Rose Gold, Topaz. So these are their shimmering skin perfectors, and there they are. Moonstone is pretty much a cult favorite. It's like one of those ones that everybody talks about, Moonstone Opal and now Champagne Pop, since that has been out. So there they are right there, and I kind of did that one on my knuckle. Moonstone is a beautiful like white golden type of highlight. Rose Gold is exactly what it is. It's a rose gold type shimmering color, and then Topaz is a bronzy golden It's more bronze than it is gold, but it's like a bronzy golden shimmerness. So the thing of these is you can wear them as highlights. These two are a bit too dark for me to wear as a highlight, but I will tell you how I use them in a minute. But Moonstone is definitely really beautiful as a highlight. And then the other two products in here are two products that I really wanted to try. And these are their blushes in Wild Honey and Flower Child. So let me get these. Guys, these feel so soft. All right, so there you have, I can't remember which is which. Wild Honey is the tan one, Wild Honey and Flower Child. So these are favorites. I've heard YouTubers talk about these all the time, and I've wanted to try them, but I didn't want to invest in like the big size of this. So I was so glad to be able to get this in this kind of palette. And I have to tell you, I love Wild Honey more than I ever thought that I would. I'm not normally a girl who wears this kind of blush. Like, I gear more towards something with some flush of color to it. This is a very natural color, but it looks beautiful on the cheeks, and especially, you know, just this time of year with the fall, if you're doing something really dramatic on the lips or on the eyes or anything, and you add just something like that to the cheeks, it just gives such a great flush of color to it. And what I also love is these two blushes is I don't want to say they're matte, but because they have like somewhat of a sheen to them, but they are pretty matte. There's no sparkle, there's no shimmer. And that's where these two bad boys come in. Where are you? These two. The Rose Gold and Topaz. These work great as blush toppers over these two shades, and that's what's really great about how they paired this together. I mean, you can see this pairs very well with Flower Child, and Topaz pairs very well over let me see, I can't even think of, over Wild Honey. So I'm just going to kind of do that, and so you can see, I don't know if you'll be able to tell a difference, but it just gives a little bit of sheen to those two blushes. It gives a little bit of glow. And so that's what I really like, is you can kind of mix these together. I mean, you can mix however you want to. You can add Moonstone over these two blushes. You can put, you know, these two over these two blushes. You can wear them as a highlight. However you want to do it is you can make this palette work for you. So I've definitely been loving this. Definitely really enjoy the texture of these. They're a high quality. I mean, they're so finely milled. They feel so soft. They give you just the right of pigmentation where it's not over pigmented and not under pigmented. They blend beautifully and they just work really well. I mean, Becca knows what they're doing. It's a great product. So definitely been loving that. And check it out, it's an Ulta exclusive. Okay, so that wraps up my faves and fails. I'm gonna say for the month of October, but it's really been for the past few months that I've been loving pretty much most of these products. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give this video a giant thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below, what have you been loving or not loving for the past few months. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hey, it's me again. So I forgot that another favorite of mine, which I've kind of hinted to or whatever, but I haven't actually showed you guys, is my husband built me a new vanity mirror, and it's got like surrounding lights. It's really awesome. So I wanted to give you guys kind of a show of it. Now, don't judge me because my vanity is actually a mess because I'm filming, and when I film, I have to kind of shift everything and move, but I am gonna show you the mirror. So I'm gonna turn you guys around. Hold on. Here is my new vanity mirror. You can see I have the lights all around it. I've got a switch down there, and there's my little hubby in the corner, and my sign from Makeup Geek that says embrace your cosmetic addiction, because let's be real, that's what I have. So this is kind of my vanity area, but definitely a true favorite of mine. I was so happy when my husband built this for me, and it's helping with my lighting situation, I hope. I just got new light bulbs in it, and I'm loving it. So let me know if you like the lighting in this video, and as always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye! Well, I'm going to be doing my Ipsy and BoxyCharm unboxings, unbaggings,